Hello everybody. Okay, now that we have everything up and running, let me actually get up from the server. Oh, already kicked me out, perfect. Let me open the directory. Cool. And what else? Let me clean and let me start the server. Okay. Now I need to find out where it stays. It's here. So I go to my local host. Let me close the rest. And yes, my app is up and running. By the way, this thing about refreshing and losing your account is going to be fixed pretty much by the end of the semester. I will show you how to keep the session saved. Okay, so let's actually work on the profile page. And to work on the profile page, in our source code, let's create a new view called profile.view. We have a basic template, let's call it profile. And let's do a simple h1 hello there from profile. Now that we have that, we need to go to the router. Profile page is a brother of the feed page. So pretty much we take this part and paste it again inside the children. So it's with a comma again, and we call this profile. The component is going to be profile, but before that we actually need to import it. So we take the feed and let's import the profile from our views profile. Okay, our view is there. Now we go to the feed page. Actually, the user info component. We have my profile button here. So this is just to change to let's call it profile. Oh, I did something here. The path. I'm going to forward profile. So we're saving the profile page in the /profile. And this button it will direct to that. Okay, let's verify. I log in. My profile. Hello there from profile. Perfect. I can go back with clicking the Super Asana title. So, and now you can see that it's rendering perfectly and without flickering about when we do a post request. So profile page is working. What I want to do here is give like a big background image, my identification name with some of the data, and then listen my posts. Pretty much. Let's keep it simple, and let's do that. So now that we have the profile page, we can actually open. And let's start everything with a container. This container is going to be, let's go to see the container documentation. Container. No. or it's going to be in the grid options. Let me look for grid systems. Yeah, maybe. Yes. Okay, we have something here called fluid. Remove the viewport. So it's actually, let me show you what it does. So let's do a container. Let's add a class of red in order to see it. And let's put something here. Hi. And we'll go to the application. Let me move this around a little bit. You can see that the container have like some kind of space around. So if I change this to fluid, as we saw in the documentation, the container go all the straight away. It's pretty much what I like, what I need. And for that, then I want inside the container on the top to have an image. There's something really cool that Beautify have, and it's the parallax element. You can see when you scroll an image, how that image pretty much stays there. And I have different elements how to use it. So let's actually take this part and let's just copy this line. Let's use the same image and paste it here. Oh, let's remove the red class now. Okay, it's there. Let me change this one to bigger text. Just put in bigger text to show it, and let's copy and paste it several times. That way you see I can scroll and the image is there. But there is some kind of padding that I don't like it. And that padding, let me check. It doesn't come from my parallax object. Oh, look at this, came from my container. You can see that the padding is understood for the container. Yeah, it looks like from there. So let's actually the container do. Let me now remove all this text that I don't need. And let's do a class of padding all to 0, like override that padding, and perfect. My image is now across. What I like it. So we have that. Let's actually put our information in the middle. But now if we put whatever we put, it's going to be sticked to the left. So now I want to have the container with the spaces. So actually what we can do is inside our container, let's do a container exception. Let's do another container, and let's put the text there. Hello. And now that container have the space that I actually like. Perfect. So now we have that container, we can have a row. And this row I want to justify the content center. And what I want to put here is actually my user information. So let's actually go to the user component. And in the user view, we have this computer element to get the user. So let's actually copy that computer element and paste it in the profile page. And now we have access to the user object. And having access to the user object, I can actually let's borrow this section. The avatar, and let's put it on the, let me close the router. and let me put it inside here. If I save those, okay, my information is there. Probably if we can do a little bit bigger. Perfect. I like big image. If we see that it's too big, later we can actually put it a little lower, but let's do 180. Probably it's a little bit better. So we have the row. By the way, actually before the row we're gonna need to put the columns. So I almost forgot that. And the avatar is going to be inside my column. And my column is going to be, I want to image to take 2 columns. Okay. And now that I have the image, I want another column. And this one going to be, let's say, probably 3. And in here what I want to paste is user.display name, there. Then I will do BR pretty much is like jump character, like a return. And here I will put another text, and it will be the user.email. Okay, those are there, but they're a little bit small. So actually let's put the name, let's do a display tree. Perfect. And the email, let's do probably display 1. It's too big. Let's do a headline. I like it. You're telling me where I get those. Actually, remember, go to the text area, typography. We have the different sizings: display 4, 3, 2, 1, headline, title, subtitle, etc. So I choose the display 3 for the name, and I choose the headline for the email, and let me just look cool. Perfect. Now that I have those, let's actually return the image to be a little bit bigger. Let's return it to 40. And let's move the image to the top and use part of the element that we have here. So we can actually handle the margins of the element, but instead of giving a positive margin, we're going to give it a negative margin. And it's something going to be custom. In this case, what we're going to do is to the avatar itself, let's do a class of profile pic, and that profile pic we go down in our styling dot profile pic, and we can actually do margin top, and it's going to be a negative margin. So if the image is 240, let's do actually 120 negative pixels, and that move the image to the top. And actually like it. Have the name here and the image here. Yeah, I believe it's working a little fine. What I can do is add a little more elevation to the image. So let me look for elevation. And we can actually play with the elevation method. So the elevation will pretty much increase the shadow to give the effect that is over something. So yeah, elevation 12 were fine. I think so, not that much. And that means that we need to add a class. Oh, let me check. Elevation. We just need to add the elevation equal something, or we can actually do fixed numbers. Yes, we can use fixed number probably too. Here you go, elevation and the number as a class. Let's use that part, and we choose the 12. So my profile pic, also we have elevation dash 12, and I will make it with that little shadow on the bottom, give you like an elevation on the page. I like it. So now that we have that, we can actually start putting the content on the bottom. As I said before, we are simplifying here. What I want to do on the profile page is just post the friends that we have and the post that this particular person have. So let's actually look for a tab, and the tabs are this kind of element, so probably the one that I need to have. And there are several ways to have tabs, right? You can play around the way that you want it, or how you want to specify the tabs, but let's actually keep it simple. Let's use the simple one. Of course, here is the element, so we need to specify the tabs and then the elements of the tabs. But not only that, I can to be able to change the content. So this is more likely what I want. So I have a tabs, and then the tab item. Okay, this is working. So the tab item need to be multiplied several times inside the b tabs in plural, but just after the tab's name, and they have the right. Okay, let's use this one. So after our second column, actually outside the row, we can actually do another row. That way we know that our name is going to be always here, and then the extra is going to be always down. It's pretty much what I needed. And from that, let's do let's justify the content, center, and let's play with the column. And let's do columns 10. So we give it the dot gutter on the size a little bit bigger. And after we have that, we can actually specify the bit tabs. Let me see again this. Okay, now we have the bit tabs. We can have the bit tab element. For example, let's do 1. Bit tab element going to be 2, and then b tab item and the bit tab item actually will have b tab item in singular, and let's put put the H1 hello. There. Let's see if this works. 1, 2. The content is not showing. Oh, by the way, tabs need to be to the right. Perfect. And because on the right, let's actually move the background. And I believe I can do let me remove these bit tab items first. Hello there. Excellent. It's doing what it's supposed to. Cool. This is what I needed. But let me remove that one. For remove that one, there's a little bit of hack that we can use here. For the bit tab, we can do a background color equal transparent. Okay, so we were able to remove the color from the tabs. Now let's remove the color from the item. So probably we can actually do the same. No, we cannot. Let's do a class here. No. Yeah, let me look at my notes. Okay, I found it. Okay, we need to do the things a little bit old-fashioned here. So let's actually, in the tabs, let's actually have a V model. And it will be tab. And for that, let's go to here and have a data component. Sorry. Be that, okay, and it's going to be tab. That's going to be 1 by default. That means that we are going to keep record on what element we actually clicking or stay in the tab. That's what it does. The V model, we have record of that. And because of that, we can actually use the component that I added before, the bit tab item in plural, and these two go inside. Let me remove the background color. And the tab item I'm going to do is actually the model is going to be tab. So we're pretty much, our item is going to keep record of this element tab. So this architecture works when you have elements that are a little more outside, and when you have something, I don't know, here that will affect a tab that is over here, or something like that that is outside the layout. But in this case, the content is not shown yet. So what we need to finish adding is actually this should be working. Be model in the tabs and be tabs. Let's see the compilation, it should be fine. Let me just do a hard reset, refresh. Let me go back in, go to my profile, and the content is not there. Oh, I did a mistake. Yes. Tab items is going to be outside my tabs. Let me just format this a little bit. Perfect. Save it. You don't like it. You didn't like it. Why? We refresh to be having the latest served. Oh, you get by default the 2. Let me change it to 0. Okay, get the default by 0. Perfect. But the content is not showing. So we have bit tab item, items in plural, item in singular, items in plural, and the same as the bit tabs. Oh, I found it. This should be tabs item. Sorry, this one. No? Tabs item with the model, singular, 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 plural, plural. Is there. Let me force it one last time. So the profile again. Oh, here we go. Okay, now it's working. Well, because we have the VIP tab item, now the tab item actually showing there. Perfect. And you will say, well, where I get that? Well, we go to the tabs, go to the top, in the API, we have the tabs items here. And this is the one that actually we need to somehow bind it with the V model in order to identify what to do with this. And this pretty much when the elements of the tab are actually outside the tab itself. So now there is something pretty cool in the tabs items that we add is the class, and we can actually put something like red, for example, and this allows all those tabs going to be red. Of course, we change that to blue. All our tabs is going to be blue. We only change one time and everything get reflected. So it's just transparent. It's pretty much what I needed. So it took us a time, but yeah, we are there. We have the tabs and we have the content. But I see that this yellow though, I don't like it that much. So probably we can use let's do a blue class equal blue. No. Danger. Color. I'm playing around with the name instead of looking at the documentation. Guys, first always check documentation. Okay. And actually I like it. This red is I believe it's pretty neat. Let's do danger. Oh, it doesn't exist. Danger. Warning. No. Primary. Is that yellow one? Secondary. No, where are you getting those names, Rodolfo? Well, those names actually getting from my plugins folder. Beautify this name. So let's take the accent. No, it's too light. Let's get the arrow. Probably the arrow one is going to look fine. Yeah, it actually does. So yeah, this is pretty much what I needed. So in the first tab, going to be just adding, let's change the title to post, and the second one to friends. Cool. So this one we're going to leave the post that I'm going to be using. For that, we're going to put that in the first tab item. But if you remember, we already did that in the feed view. So in the feed view we have the post element that's coming from our post. So let's actually copy our post element. Let's import it. Let's use it. The post element, I need to have a comma here. What happened here? And in here we are going to use post. And only with that, boom, we have the post element show there. You feel the easy that we can actually use somehow of validation, or pretty much no validation, reusable elements. So the same elements that we created for the main feed, we can actually use it here. And as you can see, if I scroll the page, that little backgrounds have that effect. And this is the element. So right now this is fixed information. It's going to be changed with the APIs. So right now it's what I want to see here. And in the frame view, what I want to see is the list of friends. So let's actually do that. So now we have the first type item, and the second one is going to be, let's add a new component called friends, and we are going to declare it here. So as answer, pretty much how to import a component, another component is pretty much like this, with the import statement and then you declare it. But of course we are having an issue because this doesn't exist. So let's go to the components, new file is going to be friends.view. Let's do the base one, and the name is going to be friends. Perfect. And let's put the friends over here. So we're going to list the post and the friends, and it's going to be depending on the current user. Cool. So now that we have that, of course, we did a lot of changes. Our friends is not populated. So let's actually put the friends right there. So in order to put the friends, let's actually do an API right now, just to make it things cool. There's a really cool one called UI names. That API give you like you generate a profile picture, you generate a name and some data, and it's random data. And we can generate several names, so we can actually use more API. We just need to call the API in there, and one of the parameters of the options is the amount. So we can actually make a call to the API and have a specific amount. Let's do that. So I don't remember we have Access installed or not. I believe we don't. Let's check. In my package JSON, we have listed dependencies. So in the development dependencies and in the production, in Access is not there. Access is going to be the tool that we're going to be using in order to make calls to an API. So we'll just add Axios. It will help us to do an API calls. You know what? Let me stop right there. Before making the call, let's actually use the look and feel that we're supposed to have. So in here, let's do a container, and this container I want to be fluid, and inside the container, of course, we need a row, and inside this row we need a column, and this column we have another container, perfect, another row, and this row is going to be justify center, and then here let's actually copy this. We have an avatar. Okay, let me just put it back. There you go. And this avatar will have an image. And let's close the avatar element. And the image, I believe we can do soft closing image. I'm going to be source equal, and let's use the user PNG. In my case, it's going to be a bit like that. Let's see if that's working. Yes, it is. Perfect. So now that I have my image, my elevation, we have another row inside this container, and this row will have a column. We also specify the sizing here. And let's actually do a pin, and let's put a name. So yeah, and this one is going to be headline class, headline, and going to be text center. Perfect. So now we can actually go back to here. So for every column, we can do a before and in, I don't know, 25. With the key equal to end, we have that. Perfect. This is the look and feel pretty much that I like, that I wanted. So I have all the avatars, all the names to see the different profiles. Cool. So now that we have the look and feel, let's actually change those with the call to the API. And this is just for an example, but at the end it's going to be to our own database, just to show you how this actually works. So let's do a computed element. Actually, now let's do something simpler. Let's do data element, going to be friends, is going to be empty. It's an empty array somehow, and wherever we mount That means that it get mounted, it get created, the application, the page, you're going to do something about that. So we install Axios, so we need to import it. Import Axios from Axios. This will help us to make the call. And we'll say, well, whatever we mounted, we're going to do an Axios get element. We're going to see more details about Axios in the next videos. And let's actually just call this one. Axios get this element. And then we can do then, after you get it, my response is going to be sent to somewhere. And it's going to be sent that this.friends equal to respond to data. If we do that, going back to the app, let's do inspect element, let's go to the view, and let's actually open the main page. Perfect. Application, content, profile. Let's see the data in the tab items. The second tab item has the friends, and now we have friends array, and then fill it up with a lot of information. Cool. This is pretty much what we needed. So now that we have our friends, we need to specify what element of our friends we are going to actually get in. Cool. So let's go back to the API. And now, instead of doing this, it's going to be, instead of doing a before of n25, this will change to friend index. So let's pull up the index in friends, and my key is going to be the index. Let's see if it works. Yeah, it's pulling up 25 because we're calling 25. Let's change the amount to 20. And let's refresh. Don't like it. What is happening here? Okay, somehow my application is not working. Let me verify what is happening. Okay, took a while, but it's there. Let's go back to the application, let's log in, go to the profile, go to friends, and now we have 20 friends. Perfect. As you can see, they're there. Cool. I don't like how this looks like here. So that means that probably in the profile page, have the friends, we're okay. So we have this one, justify center, that's fine. So this one probably we can do a justify. Begin. Now let's actually see that. So we go to the grid system, go to the row, then go to justify, apply justify content, start. Okay, this is the one I wanted. So let's justify start. Okay, let's go to the friends sections. No, so it's not this one. Probably this one, start. Yeah, no. So we can actually probably do a big column here. Let's put the avatar. So we have this row and this row, and I want to hide those rows. Let's do a row inception. Let's do another row. Actually, let me just see this. So container row column. So we have another row, we have another column, and this column is going to be call equals to, we do another, let's do this container fluid. That way we can actually call another container, and this container will have these two rows inside. But as you can see, what I'm doing, just wrapping up information in another containers, pretty much. Doing that. Okay, it's doing a little bit what we wanted. Text center, probably we can remove this. I'm doing a mess right now. So let's, you know what, let's forget about all this and let's go back. Let's leave it like that. There's no complicated stuff. So now that we have those, we can actually call, I believe, here is going to be the friend dot name, I believe. So yeah, all the names that were coming from the API itself, and I believe this one can be dynamic. I need to be friend.photo. Oh, they like it. Why didn't I like it? Invalid expression. Oh, of course, it doesn't need to have this bracket. So I do like that. The photo element is not working. It's not doing because the photo doesn't exist. Oh, extra data. We need to make the change to the call in order to bring the photo element. So let's add this extra there. So that's going to be really simple. So we specify the limit, and you say, and give me extra. That means that we pull up that information. Cool. So we can see that Spain, this guy, and Simon pretty much look the same. There's some extra here, and let's actually change the region. What region? Oh, we can use region United States. Let's actually change shortcut. Can we change the region? Let's see if this works. So we copy the region, and let's do another and region equal to USA. That work? No. United. State. No. Mexico. Yeah, this worked. So I don't know how they actually save in United States, but Mexico work, or let's do England. Yeah, let's leave it like that for now. So we're just faking the information just to see how it actually look like. And this is pretty much what we need. And we keep it like that. We keep a simple profile name, we keep the name, and show your posts and show your friends. Quick and simple. And let's actually finish the application with this. So let's, one last time, I stage all my changes with my git add. Then with my git commit, I will say profile page done, and I commit those, and then I will click this little guy to push it. So it synchronized changes. Perfect. With that, I can just cancel this, going to my server. In my server, I go to my super ASM app. I do a git pull. I do a yarn to install the dependencies. I do a yarn build to do the production environment. Now I go to my distribution folder, and I do a copy recursively everything to var www super. And just with that, I can go back to my site, log in. So I'm in my site, I already logged in, go to my profile, the profile page is there. If I go to see my friends are there. Perfect. So with this, we are ending pretty much the super app. Next week, we're going to see pretty much the backend, database connection, layout, and all that stuff in order to save the information and pull it to the users. So I hope you like it. Any question or doubts, don't hesitate to reach me. Happy coding, everybody.